Mario Mario Kart 64 and CTR are some of the most iconic racing games of the N64 and PlayStation era of video games. They are some of my favorites and are really enjoyable times. But CTR is more generally regarded to having better track design. Not track design, but having better just game mechanics in general. But my question was, which one had the better track design in general? Because that's a little more subjective. I thought it'd be interesting, and nobody did it before, so I just thought it was a good idea. And also, I looked at the statistics, and it is my most popular series, so yeah, we're going with it. So, anyways, sit back, enjoy your time, like, comment, subscribe, and let's go with the video. Oh yeah, also, if you aren't familiar with how I'm gonna do this, essentially, I'm gonna compare the two tracks, and whichever one is better, and if one game has a better track than the other, then they get the tally. I'm gonna compare tracks that are similar, even though some of these may be a little bit of stretches. I noticed this when I realized that they had a lot of similar tracks. So anyways, let's get started with the first comparison. Wario Stadium versus Tiny Arena. Okay, so these are both extremely damn long stadium tracks. One is very clearly copied the other, which have lots of bumps and turns and winding turns. Even though Tiny Arena is the longest in this game, but Wario Stadium isn't. Rainbow Road is in Mario Kart 64. But both of them are extremely long, both going over 4 minutes, with Wario Stadium getting 4 minutes and 21 seconds, while Tiny Arena getting 4 minutes and 7 seconds. Both of these... One thing notable I found is that there's these bumps at the beginning right here. I know you can't see it because it's a flat map. But if you use a mushroom, you could jump over this wall and skip like half the track. I saw speedrunners do it. I was like, oh, cool, I could do that. And then, yeah, that's mostly it. But in general, this is probably one of the only rounds where CTR's just... mechanics in general boost what would be a boring track in Mario Kart 64 to one of my favorites, because there's practically no turbo mechanics in this game. The only turbos you could get are from mushrooms or building up drift boosts, which I didn't even know exist for lots of my life. Essentially, you shake it back and forth like you do in DS, but yeah, it's very unclear. But that's the only thing. Sure, the turns can be fun with the drifting style, but overall, the jumps and the clunkiness of them, and the sheer longness with not a lot going on, make Tiny Arena better. It's ironic because it's the longest track, and the name is called Tiny Arena. But essentially, if you jump off if you get a bunch of turbos off these ramps and such, you could see them on the map here, you go real fast. In fact, I would say it's the easiest track to win against the CPUs on if you just time the jumps correctly. I won it in adventure mode first try, and I beat the time trial ghosts first try, so that's something. Anyways, yeah, Tiny Arena is better. No surprises, considering some people consider this the worst of Mario Kart 64. I don't, personally, but I can understand the point. Now it's time for the more advanced level ice tracks, even though Polar Pass is before Blizzard Bluff in Adventure mode, which makes no sense to me. But, anyways, now these... Even though I've said I have my criticisms with Polar Pass and my CTR ranking, this 8 does not feel well to go on. This turn is a little bit annoying, and this turn specifically is pretty annoying if you don't know how to jump, if you aren't paying attention. But regardless, it's a really good track, especially with this big jump right here. Well, Sherbet Land, it has barely any, the track design's not cohesive at all. These cracks just feel really, it just feels very unsatisfying to drive on. The penguins are annoying. This rock in the middle does jack shit. And this section right here is really annoying because there is barely any clear way to go, and you're almost guaranteed to slam into one of those damn penguins unless you slow down. Yeah, so yeah, I mean this is a very clear winner because I'm gonna be honest, Sherbet Land is just a horrible track in general. Oh yeah, also Polar Pass is significantly longer. And Sherbet Land is the shortest track in the Star Cup. I look forward to that because I would not want to spend any more seconds, hell minutes, on this track. I just do not want to be there at all. Anyways, time for the advanced level circuits. Yay! Okay, so we got two classic right here and an alright one right here. Royal Raceway kind of represents, to me, it feels like the Mario Kart 64 track. Like the winding turns, the jump, the iconic landmarks. I feel like this is the Mario Kart 64 track. Well, Turbo Track. Okay, but first off, Royal Raceway is faster, having 3 minutes and 1 second. Well, it's closer to 2 seconds because the milliseconds, but I'll count it. And then on Turbo Track, it's 2 minutes and 3 seconds. But I did kind of do a lot of grinding on this track because I thought the speed boosts are really fun. I mean, they're both they both had the most turbo pads and they had the most speed pads in the game, which is kind of funny to me because there's literally only 2 on this track. In this game, in this one, it's like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 speed pads. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I thought it was, I do admittedly do not hate this track as a lot of the CTR people do. I have a lot of controversial opinions on this game and this game, but in general, Royal Raceway is just a better track because this track would maybe be better if it weren't for this freaking M, bro. Like, if they just made this like turn that one like this, it would have been good. It would have been good. And no, this M, it breaks literally all of your speed. Now you don't have any reserves, and you're gonna slam into the wall and eventually go off-road here. And to be honest, it's not that interesting. Even the turbo pads make it feel a lot more interesting, but it is admittedly not that interesting. While Royal Raceway has a lot of turns and fun corners, and there's a couple of advanced, pretty fun advanced level corners like this one right here. They both have hard turns, but Royal Raceway is very much better because it's just executed way better. Anyways, time for the castles of the respective games, which are horribly misplaced. Bowser's Castle at a time of 2 minutes and 34 seconds, and Cortex Castle at a time of 3 minutes and 10 seconds. One is placed in the second cup, one is placed in the third cup. These games only have 4 cups. Dude, this is the hardest track in the game in Mario Kart 64, and this is pretty difficult, you know? Both do go through different porches, kind of a different approaches. The Bowser's Castle is, it's definitely meant to be significantly more challenging, I would say. It's meant to, like, creep you out. It's meant to creep you out. Like, it meant to, I don't know, there's like 5-year-olds playing this game. They want them to, like, piss their pants. They want them to be, like, scared of this track. Well, this is more of a medieval theme. Like, you think Cortex stole this from Europe with the, like, medieval, like, kind of theming. And then, oh wait, yeah, there's spiders. Yeah, he definitely got it from giant spiders. So yeah, he definitely got that from Australia. But anyways, both also have falling obstacles. The spiders I just mentioned, and this one has the thwomps that move. Now, the thwomps that move are a little bit of a pain in the ass, but they aren't that bad of obstacles. This tunnel right here is a pain in the ass, but I've managed to get past it. It's not that bad anymore. There's a Bowser statue that just spews fire that hits, like, barely anybody. There's these, like, unexplained garden sections. I don't know. I think Bowser's a gardener or something like that. But the real, one of the real pace breakers here is this 270 turn. 270 degrees. Like, dude. Like, why? Like, you can't, if you turn around it, it's gonna feel clunky, and if you drift around it, you're gonna slam into a wall. And presumably break your character's neck. Poor Luigi, but, anyways, then there's a couple of jumps right here, and that's back at the start. It's definitely the hardest track in Mario Kart 64, but sometimes that difficulty doesn't feel earned. Bridge section. Bullshit thwomps. But, like, both these tracks have a lot of 90-degree turns with, like, one exception. But in my opinion, I'm gonna break down Cortex Castle because it is one of my favorite tracks in the game. There's a turn right here. This game has this track uses turbo pads pretty well and jumps. So there's this split section. It's the only part I strongly dislike about this track. Then there's this. Then you go over here. There's a turbo pad. This hairpin turn is pretty annoying, but you could deal with it. And then you go through here. There's another 270 like that. And then you go down. Here. And it doesn't show it. I mean, it does, but you can barely see it. There is a little bridge right there. That if there's a jump right here. If you use that jump to get up here and take the shortcut, it's really cool. You could do that. I just can't do it because I have a skill issue. But anyways, and then you go back here, dodge some spiders, and you're back at the start. It just generally uses its difficulty significantly better and feels just more fun to control. Even though this isn't a bad track by any means, I just think Cortex Castle does it better. But, anyways, yeah, this is the, tallies now. In case you can't tell, that is my least favorite, cup of Mario Kart 64. Because now, now Crash Team Racing has a 3-point lead. But maybe will the Special Cup pick up its tracks and be the best cup in Mario Kart 64? Who knows? You're gonna have to wait till my next video. Well, you better subscribe to watch that. So like, comment, subscribe, comment what my next ranking video should be after I make my next CTR versus Mario Kart 64 video. And, yeah, that's mostly it. Anyways, have a great day, and subscribe.